Same shirt, new content, everybody. Aslan here. Michael Langston over there. He's recruiting analyst for Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. It's the off season. It's a quiet period, but man, we're gonna keep talking. They can't make us be quiet. We're gonna give you some good content. If you like it, hit the thumbs up, right, Michael?
Absolutely. Hit the like button for us. It's a position that everyone loves to talk about, and actually a really good position for FSU. Have done a great job of this position. I think this is no different this year. So certainly, I think you guys are going to like this, feature. And for all features, hit the like button. It's free. It's easy.
Michael, how long you been doing this now, covering Florida State recruiting?
Well, been covering recruiting for like 21 years, and then I've been covering. This will be my 12th year with Warchant. So been doing it a while.
Is Alex Atkins top 5 recruiter
He
ever
i-
for you?
he's the best offensive line coach I've seen here that recruits. I've seen anybody that knows how to connect and get the response that you're looking for recruiting. So yeah, he's definitely the best offensive line coach, and then certainly one of the best they've had here as far as recruiters. And they've had some good ones over the past, but Alex is really high up there. He's a rock star, as I've said all along.
All right, they already got one guy in tow. He's an important guy, Rod Kearney. We went and hung out with him before he even committed. Maybe we knew what was going on. Maybe we didn't, everybody. But the next guy that's possibly on deck July 11th, he'll be making a decision, is Lucas Simmons, a European product who's now in Clearwater at Clearwater Academy International. Not familiar with the program, but familiarize all of us with this kid and his game, Michael.
Really explosive offensive tackle, long reach, can cover a lot of angles with his pass pro. Very good against the run. He's very physical. He finishes very well. He's certainly been a guy that's the top tackle that they pursued. With Lucas, and he started off as a 3-star and then got bumped up for a 4-star, and he's dominated a lot of camps, and he's just everything you look for in an offensive tackle, just with his movement, his hand placement. He would be a tremendous ad.
Who's I mean, what do you feel about the likelihood they can get this guy? I mean, we'll know here in a few days. What seems to be the competition? What do you think will be maybe the determining factor for him?
I would say the competition would be probably Tennessee, USC. I think Florida is also thrown in there. But Tennessee and USC have been the teams that I've heard that are the biggest competition. I don't want to rule out the Gators, but those two teams have always been the ones visited officially to all of them. I think his parents went to most of them. I think his mom didn't go to USC, but I don't think that's kind of a factor you read into. But I think he's been to all, and then I think they have a. I think it's a good possibility FSU finish off. I lean more towards FSU going into that July 11th announcement. I think the big thing for me is, he's a big guy that's into trust and the belief in comfort level of the guy that's recruiting him, and there's nobody that's recruited him longer and harder probably than Alex Atkins, and we know what Alex does when he gets his hooks on people as far as relationships. And I lean FSU going into that July 11th announcement. Now we're still, you're still dissecting information and intel, which way it could go, but that's kind of where I sit. Some feel Tennessee's the biggest threat, some feel SC's the biggest threat, but I think overall equal they're a threat to them. But if I was picking today, I would probably pick FSU.
Disclaimer: I think we're going to drop this on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It is not Sunday as we talk to you, everybody. How about this large human being? I saw him in action at the big man camp. DJ Chester, he's from Eagles Landing Christian, which is also the home for Bryson Estes, who's on the roster right now.
Right.
Man, this kid was quite impressive in that big man camp. How high is he? How much of a want is he on the hot board when it comes to offensive lineman for Florida State?
I think he's the next guy up. I think Lucas is very high, and then I think Chester's right there with him. I think we saw him working out at the camp. He's worked out at several camps already with Atkins. I think this year, so he's a guy that they're extremely high on. Um, Probably more so a guard, but I know he's rated a 3-star. But I've watched this guy, and he needs a rivals. He needs an updated ranking because this kid's a 4-star prospect. When I watch him, just does everything. The way he finishes and the way he's receptive to the teaching of Atkins, you could tell he's a guy that Atkins really loves. I think could play offensive tackle or guard. I think they're still trying to figure that out and stuff. Sometimes he mentions tackle, sometimes he mentions guard, but I don't think FSU cares long one or the other as long as they get them. And I think they sit in the best spot. I think FSU is in a really good place with DJ. DJ's kind of going to go through the process of official visits and stuff like that, but I think this guy is an absolute premier offensive lineman that is very high on Atkins's board, and certainly a guy that they have coveted for a while. They've had him on campus several times, at least 3 or 4 times already, visiting campus. Sometimes unofficially, sometimes just to work out with Atkins. I think he's going to probably be back at July 30th for their big event, and I think they position themselves in a really good spot for DJ at this point.
Simmons a tackle, Kearney a tackle, Chester large body. More of an inside guy, we think, projecting. Even though we see a lot of tackle film right now on the screen.
I think when you watch him, we watched him at the camp. I think he easily can play, tackle. But I think the place where he just really dominates is when you put it that guard position. Because pass pro, he seems very comfortable with that. And then where he's really just impressive is the road grading. He just plows people. I mean, just he's got the footwork you look for, very quick feet, but also the engagement of when he gets his hands on you. He just the play's over. I mean, the rep is over.
Okay.
He's going to win. So I think he could play either one. I think it's still undetermined. Kearney's going to play a center. I think that's what Kearney told us, that he's going to be a center prospect, and then certainly Simmons would be tackle, and then this one would be tackle or guard. Just kind of, I think guard. If I was making holding a gun to my head, I would probably say guard. But either way, this guy is absolutely a take and 100% one that they have pushed extremely hard for. So it's another one they put a lot of work into and could be the next if they do get good news even from Simmons. I think Chester's the one where I feel comfortable saying that FSU's in a good spot right now.
Man, Florida State. I mean, Rod Kearney's listed at 6'4", 300. If he's playing center, my goodness, good luck, everybody. That's very enticing. Let's talk about a pair of decommits here from SEC programs. Let's start off rather with this dude, Jatavia Shivers, 6'7", 288, out of Villarica, Georgia. Previously committed to Vanderbilt. Looks like people here on the future cast have him going to South Carolina.
hmm
We can maybe agree or disagree about that, but how'd this guy get on the radar, and how interested do you think he is with Florida State and Florida State's with him?
I think he's very interested. I think he's kind of in that second tier behind the two we've covered, and Simmons and DJ Chester. I think they like him. I think certainly Atkins attract to him. Massive human being. This guy's huge. Think he's going to probably come over again. Probably going to officially visit FSU. But I think it's kind of they're waiting to see, kind of finishing off these other two. If you get those other two, you got three. They're probably only going to take 4 or 5 at the five at the most, probably four. So then your options get limited. But I think he's a guy they like a lot. I mean, South Carolina pick, I can understand that, but I don't think he's really in a hurry to just jump on board again with somebody else. So I think he's going to go through the process, take some official visits, and he certainly has taken quite the liking to Atkins. He's been here a few times already. I think really the main thing for me with FSU and him is if FSU pushes. If FSU pushes, it's going to get very interesting because there already is a connection with Atkins, him, and then what I like about him is kind of the way he pulls, the way he finishes, hand placement's really good, and then he also has those guard tendencies that you kind of look for. The way he plows and opens the side that he's blocking on, whether his hands or his footwork, and the way he drives through the blocks. I think those are kind of things that I like about Jatavia. So I think he's a guy that certainly is kind of a wait and see of how the push is going to be.
All right, then last and not least, there's so much more over at warchant.com on the premium recruiting board. Michael's got full rundowns of these guys that you're hearing about and more, with even some further analysis. But another decommit. Always we were talking about this program. This is like the new Armwood ever since we actually got some kids out of Armwood. Like, will we ever really get a guy from Trinity Catholic? But out from Ocala here, Tommy Kinsler, Tommy,
hmm
maybe some people might call him, committed to Florida at one point, walked away from that commitment. How real is this with Tommy in Florida State?
I think it's real. He's visited FSU probably more than any offensive lineman, outside of maybe Kearney. But I think the interest is very real. He likes Atkins a lot. He keeps coming back. Even when he committed to Florida, I told people like I don't think that's gonna last a long time. I just felt like he was kind of different than a lot of those other Ocala training camp kids where I think he's going to go through the process of looking. Said he wants to visit FSU. I do think Miami is the team that holds the edge, and they're in the best spot with him. But I think he's definitely interested. It kind of falls into that Shivers category where he's the second tier, where how hard they going to push and make a valuable uh, if he's going to be a priority to them. So I think we don't know that yet. So right now, I lean Miami with him. He's a massive human being, not as quick as a guy like Shivers or the other guys we've covered, but he moves people easily. Maybe comparable to Kanaya Charlton last year,
Hmm.
just massively just destroys people and really inside that space of box, he really controls the block and a guy could work more on the pass pro part of his game with his footwork and get better at that. But certainly a guy that Atkins likes, and we know they're probably going to be a factor for, and just depends on what the push is like. We know Miami has set the kind of bar. He officially visited there, so if FSU wants him to get him back on campus and then go from there. But he says he's going to take an official to FSU, so we'll just have to see where it goes from there.
I don't know how I feel about the big dog status woof woof indicator on his film. Kind of hard to pick him out of there, but I'll
Yeah.
trust that Alex Atkins knows what he's doing when he's looking at these guys' film and knows the player that he's actually breaking down and everything. So,
Mhm.
I mean, these are all pretty good options, Michael. We've come a ways, feels like, huh? We've come a ways when it comes to recruiting offensive linemen.
The offensive line is, when we first started doing this, what was it like when Alex took over? It was the worst offensive line in the country. I mean, literally, I'm not just making
Wasn't
that up.
great.
It
Wasn't
was
great.
it was graded. I think NCAA rankings had them like the worst offensive line Division One. So they come a long way, and now it's getting close to. We broke down a lot of these positions, and when you look at the offensive line position, it's better than anyway. So it's almost come a strength for FSU of the guys they've added the last 2 or 3 years since Atkins has been here. So, um, however long he's here, enjoy it, guys, because he's phenomenal. And certainly they've done a hell of a job with their offensive line. Not just that, but also just the guys they got from the transfer market. Certainly added some really good pluses that are going to help this group. So I think certainly the offensive line is coming more of a strength now.
There's 9 dudes on the hot board. We talked about 4. Got to go to the website, check it out, everybody. It's worth it. But hey, man, you gave us 4, Michael. That's pretty cool. I think they should have the thumbs up button on their way out.
Hit it, hit it, hit the thumbs up, guys.
He's Michael Amazel. Thanks for watching, everybody.